Hello and welcome to September's gentle yoga class. I am in another location. It's still a bit windy here, so fortunately this tent is empty, and as you can see the view behind me is pretty spectacular. So today we're in tent number 2 and it is super warm, super sunny, and let's get to it. So, starting off by sitting on your mats, cross-leg kneeling, whatever your preference may be. Tilt your pelvis forwards, lengthen through your spine, rolling your shoulder blades backwards and closing your eyes. Taking this moment, this opportunity to start focusing on your breathing. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Breathing easy, natural breaths. Starting to observe your body as it is. Tuning into whatever feelings, whatever sensations may be present in your body right now. And whatever you're finding, letting it be, not thinking about it, not wishing it was otherwise, not trying to change anything. Tuning into every physical sensation, every energetic feeling, maybe emotions from the day, from the week, from wherever they may have been. Just recognizing, observing, seeing all the experiences, all the happenings from that space which is behind all of it. Be in that point of experience. Softening your body, settling onto your mats. No thoughts need thinking about, and there is nowhere else to be. Taking control of your breathing. Breathing in deeper, deep belly breaths in and out through the nose. Every inhale, breathing in deeper than the last. Breathe into the belly, use your maximum lung capacity. Every exhale, empty the lungs. Squeezing the belly button into the spine, emptying the breath out of your body. Deeper inhales, longer exhales. Breathing with the whole of your body. Into every piece of your anatomy. Into every cell. Every inhale expanding, growing. Every exhale softening, letting go, releasing. Constant process of taking in, grabbing hold, releasing letting go. As you breathe, recognizing the 4 parts to every breath. The inhale, the momentary internal retention of your breath. The exhale, and the momentary external retention of your breath. Breathing in, holding. Breathing out, holding. Starting to make each part of your breath as long as the other. Inhaling to a count of 4. Holding your breath for a count of 4. Exhaling for 4. And holding the exhale for a count of 4. Equal ratio breathing, Samavriti Pranayama. Counting to a speed, to a pace that's comfortable for you. Counting to a number that is comfortable for you. All that matters is that each part of your breath is as long as the other. If you are able to tune in to the beating of your heart, to your pulse in your body, counting to a number of heartbeats for each part of your breath. If this is not available to you, continue counting in your head. And then changing the ratio, making the inhale and the exhale twice as long as holding the breath. A ratio of 8-4, 8-4. Breathing in for 8, holding for 4, exhaling for 8, holding for 4. Again, the speed, the number, the pace to which you count to is not important. Just focusing on making the inhale and the exhale as long as each other, with the holding of the breath half as long. And then no longer counting your breath, just settling back into your deep yogi breathing. Deep belly breathing in and out through the nose. Just setting the intention that for the whole of your practice, you'll continue breathing in this way. Every breath under control. Breathing in, grabbing a hold, connecting with every inhale. Exhaling, releasing, letting go with every breath out. So when you're back in your breathing, just opening your eyes. And so from sitting on your mats, just bring the soles of your feet together, wiggling your heels and hips as close as you can bring them, and then grabbing a hold of your toes, pull your chest forwards, pulling the spine forwards, trying to bring your chest and chin towards the tops of your mats. Deep breath in with every exhale, pulling yourselves lower and lower, making sure that the rotation comes from the pelvis, not just by bringing the spine forwards, not just you rounding through the spine. So feel that resistance at the hips, at the tops of your thigh bones. Every exhale, getting lower and lower, using your elbows to press down on the thighs and open the hips wider. If you can maintain the work that you're feeling here, then rounding your spine to bring the forehead to the toes. But only if you can still feel the work happening in your hips. If as you round through the spine, you lose the work that you feel here, then remain here. This is the focus. This is where we want to be working our body. So today's practice is a gentle one. So be gentle with yourself. You can bob, you can weave, rise and fall with your breath. Practice in a way that is not pushing or straining. You're just kind of moving how you want to move. So if you fancy a little pulse, a little bounce here, just moving through that area of resistance, that area of tension, the parameters of your body. Keep breathing deeply. Again, keeping your mind quiet. 2 more breaths. And releasing nice and slowly, nice and gently, calming back up. Taking your feet further out in front of you. So now there's no strain in the hips and the legs. Long through the spine, chin to the chest, hands on the back of the head. And just giving yourself some time to open the shoulder blades, open the back of the neck, stretching through the spine. So you can either be pulling down on the head using the strength of your arms, or just allowing the weight of your arms to bring you forwards, but again keeping the spine long. Few more breaths. And then taking the hands off the head, bring the head back up. Keeping the spine long, just bring your left ear to your left shoulder and stretching through the right side of your neck, trying to open from behind the right ear, down the side of the throat to where the muscle attaches at the collarbone. Sternomastoid muscle. If you're someone that grinds your teeth in your sleep, this muscle is responsible for holding onto that tension. So just opening that area of the neck, and then ways of making this a deeper stretch. Either staying as you are, otherwise the left hand pressing on the right shoulder, or the left hand just resting on top of the head. Few more breaths. Feel your breath moving through the side of your neck. 2 more breaths. And then use your left hand just to push your head back to center. Don't strain the muscle you've just stretched. And then bring in the right ear to the right shoulder. Again, keep the spine long. Find that sweet spot. Sternomastoid muscle behind the top of the ear, down the side of the neck, attaching to the collarbone. Your right hand pressing on the left shoulder, open the space wider. Otherwise, right hand just resting on the head. You don't need to be pulling here. Sensitive muscle. Just the extra weight of your hand and your head is enough to take you that little bit deeper. Breathe through the muscle. Every exhale, let go. Surrender the weight of your head. Few more breaths. And then using your right hand, pushing your head back to center. Bring the head back to center. And then placing your hands on your mats behind you. Just pull the chest forwards, pull the shoulder blades backwards, and then take the chin as high as you can. So opening the front of the throat, pushing through the chin, opening the whole front of your body as much as you can. Few more breaths. And slowly bring the head back down. Keep pulling the shoulder blades backwards, keeping the chest open, and then just bringing the chin back to the chest. See if you can push your head forwards, pull your shoulder blades backwards. And then bring the head back to center. Taking the right foot, and just bringing it under the left leg to the outside of your left bum, and then left leg over the top of the right. Whole sole of your left foot on the floor. Finding length through the spine as you wrap your right arm around the left leg, placing the left hands on the floor behind you. As we inhale, find length. As we exhale, twisting on the spine, looking behind. So really use the strength of your right arm, pulling on the left leg. Left palm pressing down. Every exhale, squeeze the belly in. See if you can twist a little further. Few more breaths. And releasing, facing forwards. Pulling the left foot more to the right side of your bums. So bringing the knees one on top of the other as best we can. So getting as close to this as possible. If you don't have this exactly, it doesn't matter. Just getting as close as your body will allow. That will be the boundary, the limitation where you work to. Knees stacked one on top of the other. And just for a moment here, finding length through the spine, getting settled, reconnecting to your breath. Again, long through the spine, shoulder blades backwards, space for your lungs. Lengthening through the crown of your head. And then once you've settled, bringing the right arm under the left arm, wrapping the arms together, bringing the hands together, palms, right fingers on the left palm, twisting the arms as tight as you can, pushing your elbows forwards, lifting the hands up, keeping the hands above the elbows, so not bringing the hands overhead. Sorry, just choked. Not bringing the hands overhead, taking your arms out of alignment. Keep the hands above the elbows, going straight up as you push your elbows away from you, opening your shoulder blades, opening the space between your shoulder blades, breathing to the back of your rib cage. And every exhale, see if you can tighten and twist the arms a little bit more. Breathing to the shoulder blades, breathing to the back of your rib cage. With every exhale, can you twist the arms a bit more? Wrapping the arms a little bit tighter. And if you'd like to go further from here, you can bring your weight forwards, your elbows over your knees, to surrender your body weight onto the legs. And then just breathing here. If this is too much, just staying sat up. But really just using your breath to drop onto the legs. Allow things to release, allow things to open. Couple more breaths. And then coming back up with a long spine and releasing your arms. Placing the right hand up and over behind the back between the shoulder blades. If possible, the left hand comes up behind the back to grab a hold of the right fingers to pull down on the right hand. If that is not available, placing the left hand on the right elbow, using the left hand to press on the right arm and pushing the right hand further down the back between the shoulder blades. Otherwise, if you're holding the hands, just pulling down on the right hand, opening this right shoulder as much as possible. Either way, make sure you're pushing your arm back and away from you, opening the right shoulder further, keeping the arm away from the head so you can focus on keeping that length through the spine. Nice straight line from the tailbone through the crown of your head. Few more breaths. And releasing the arms. Swapping the legs over. So now the left leg comes underneath, right leg coming over the top. Get the whole sole of your right foot on the floor, long through the spine. Wrapping the left arm around the right leg, placing the right hand on the floor behind you. Inhaling for length, and as we exhale, twisting on the spine, using the left arm, strong on the left arm, pulling the knee into the chest as you look over the right shoulder, again looking behind. Using every breath. Squeeze the belly in. Pull harder as you exhale, twist some more. And releasing, facing forwards. Bringing the right foot to the outside of your left bum. Again, as best as possible, stacking the knees one on top of the other. So right knee on top of the left knee, and then palms back on your mats. When you're here, just getting settled, coming to sitting on your mats with your bum between your heels, lengthening through the spine. And again, just taking a moment to reconnect your breathing. Then we're bringing the left arm under the right arm, wrapping the arms together, left fingers in the right palm, twisting the arms, pushing the elbows away. Again, taking the hands straight up as you breathe into the space between your shoulder blades, breathing to the back of your rib cage, rounding the shoulders forwards, so tightening off, closing off the chest, breathing here. So I'm not sure how much my microphone and my camera is picking up, but I thought this would be a good spot for some yoga. However, I've had a cat interrupt. I've had someone banging a hammer on some nails, no doubt. And I could hear the donkeys close by. And I don't know if maybe you just heard them crying. But it's all part of the practice. Just vibrations like any other. You cannot control the environment. You cannot control the external forms. Everything that happens in your practice is a part of your practice. Put there to show you something, to make you pay attention, to make you recognize yourself. Are you easily distracted? Do you become frustrated? So easy to get caught up on these things. But if you're in your practice, you can catch them, recognize yourself, let them go. Carry on with your practice. The only thing interrupting you is yourself. And releasing the arms. Bring the left hand up and over behind the back, left hand between the shoulder blades, if possible, right hand up behind the back, holding the hands, pulling down on the left hand. Otherwise, the right hand pressing down on the left elbow, opening that left shoulder as wide as you can, again out of the way of the head, along through the spine. Expanding with your breath, exploring with your inhale, letting go, releasing, opening with your exhale. Three more breaths. And releasing the arms. So I just realized I forgot to do the folding forwards on the arms. So if you wanted to do this, wrap the arms together again, bring the weight onto the thighs, elbows, over the knees, just surrendering the weight forwards. I got so caught up in explaining about distractions that I became distracted myself. So this is going to be a nice, ironic practice. 2 more breaths here. And then calming back up, releasing the arms. So from here, placing both feet on your mats and wrapping your arms around your legs. Squeeze yourselves nice and tight, nice and small, bringing the forehead to the knees. As you breathe here, Just feel that you're releasing the shoulder blades, breathing to the belly, moving against the thighs. Three more breaths. And then coming out, just straightening your legs out in front of you. So both feet out in front, pull the meat of your bum so your sitting bones are facing backwards. Inhaling out of your hips, exhaling, folding long, grabbing a hold of toes, ankle, shin, doesn't matter where you're holding on to, just grabbing a hold and pulling yourself down your legs. So try to feel that you're coming forwards from the pelvis, just like in cobbler's pose where we have the soles of our feet together and pulling our chin and chest towards the front of our mats. Similar work here. We don't just want to round through the spine because then we're cutting out a lot of the work available to us. We want to pull on the feet, bring ourselves down the legs, and again just coming out of the hips through the spine. And if you can maintain the work here, then you can round through the spine to bring your forehead to your knees. But if you start to round through the spine and lose what you're feeling at this part of your practice, then stay here. With every breath, squeeze the belly into the exhale. Think about all your internal organs, give them a squeeze, give them a massage. Help your digestive system in shifting everything around. Two more breaths. And gently releasing, calming back up nice and slowly. Placing your right ankle on top of your left thigh. And then bring the heel and the hip as close as you can. So really tucking the foot in there. Be mindful of your right knee. If that is painful and uncomfortable, you need to readjust to make sure your toes and your knee is pointing in the same direction. So one way to protect yourself here is to flex through the foot, push through the heel, pulling your toes back towards the knee, and that'll just bring flexion into the lower leg that'll keep everything aligned. Sitting bones facing backwards, keeping the foot where it is, inhaling up, exhaling forwards, grabbing a hold of, again, wherever you can. Once more, pulling yourself from the hips, through the spine, down the leg. And if you can maintain the work, then as you exhale, rolling forwards through the spine, forehead to the knee, and then giving all your organs a really good massage here on the left side of your body, really squeezing with every exhale. Again, shift everything around, give it some attention. Two more breaths. And then calming up. Nice and slowly, gently releasing, calming back up the leg. And then straightening the right leg out. Bringing the left foot in. Heel into the hip. Sitting bones facing backwards. And from here, keeping that right foot pulling back towards you. Inhaling up and out the hips, exhaling nice and long. Once again, coming down the leg, grabbing a hold, pulling through the spine, down towards the toes, protecting your left knee by flexing the left foot. And if possible, maintaining the work, as you round through the spine. Few more breaths. Once again, releasing, coming up, nice and slowly, nice and gently. This time keeping the left foot on the right leg and bring your right heel in towards you. And try to bring your right shin in line to the front of your mat. So you may want to bring the right foot further forwards to bring it underneath your left knee. From here, bringing the left foot forwards, so lower legs stacked one on top of the other. Knee on heel, ankle on knee alignment. So lower legs one on top of the other, flexing the feet again, just being mindful that your knees are looked after, protected, comfortable. Sitting bones facing backwards. Once more, inhaling, up out the hips, and as we exhale, reaching forwards, just stretching out in front of you as far as you can, placing your hands down. And whilst you're breathing here, surrendering all the weight forwards, bringing the forehead to your mat. So you're welcome to stay here. If you are looking for more in this posture, then you can place your left hand on top of the left knee, place your right elbow in front of the right foot, and the right hand on the left side of your mats. And then with both hands, you're pressing, pulling and twisting, looking over the left shoulder. So pulling along the floor, pressing down on the knee. Again, just making sure your knees are happy, protected, feet are flexed. And just looking over the left shoulder, up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. Two more breaths. And releasing, coming back to center, coming back into your mats. So going the other way, swapping the legs over. See if you can swap the legs without using your hands, just using that control of the legs. Again, ankle to knee, knee to ankle alignment. Pull the meat of your bum, sitting bones facing backwards. Inhaling, reaching up. And once again, exhaling forwards, just reaching as far forward as you can, coming out of the hips, through the spine, over the legs, to bring your forehead to your mats. And once again, you're welcome to stay here. Otherwise, the right hand pressing down the right knee, left elbow in front of the left foot, left hand on the right side of your mats, pressing down through both hands, pulling, twisting, looking over the right shoulder. Again, making sure your knees are happy, but then just breathing here. 2 more breaths. And releasing, coming back to center. So keeping your right leg on top, placing your left foot on your mats, and then just come down to lying on your backs, on your mats. And we'll set up for a nice spinal twist. So keeping the right ankle on the left thigh, bring the left knee and the right foot onto the floor on the left side of your mats, right arm along the floor, palm facing the sky. So really make sure here that your right shoulder blade stays pressing down, stays in contact with your mats. It doesn't leave the floor. As you grab a hold of the outside of your right thigh with the left hand, and then you start pulling the right knee towards the floor, so you're twisting on the spine, trying to bring the right knee onto the floor. So with the right shoulder blade anchored down onto your mats, the top of your spine is set, and then every vertebrae underneath between the shoulder blades can start twisting off to the left side. Maximum rotation. With your right fingers, spread the right fingers wide. Try and feel that all of your fingernails are pressing down to the floor. Either staying here, otherwise currently your right arm is at 9 o'clock and we want to bring it to 12 o'clock. So keeping your fingernails in contact with the floor, start bringing the hand up alongside of your head, but without the shoulder blade leaving the floor. So if the right shoulder blade does come away, don't go any further. Keeping the right shoulder blade pressing down to your mats, maybe ending up with your right arm completely alongside your head. But again, make sure your right shoulder blade is pressing down, and then just breathing here. It's quite normal here to feel pins and needles in the right fingers, sensations of a similar kind. This movement in the right shoulder can press on the central nervous system, so nothing to worry about. And then bring the right arm back in line with the right shoulder. Bring the left hand underneath the right leg. Grab a hold of the lower leg just above the ankle, and then we're straightening through the right leg, pushing through the right heel, and we can lock the right knee in, keeping the right foot off the floor using the left elbow. So straightening through the right leg, pushing through the heel, lock the knee in, again keep the foot off the floor, and then we're starting to pull the foot towards the back of our mats, towards the back of the room. So up to you how far you go. See how far you can take it, just pulling on the leg, taking it further with every breath. For those of you who would like to go a bit further, the right hand can grab the left foot, pull your left thigh in line with the long edge of your mats. Make sure your right shoulder blade stays pressing down into the ground. And then once again, as you push through the right heel, lock the right knee in, and using the left hand to pull on the right leg to stretch down the outside of the right leg, the right thigh, the right buttock. And then just breathing here. If you are shaking, it's a good sign. If you're shaking, it's 2 different sets of nerve endings communicating with each other. One set is a bit more unconscious, and one is a bit more conscious. The unconscious one is saying, no, don't go any further. This will not be safe for the body. But the conscious one is saying, we can do this. We can go further. You're inviting the body to open, to stretch, to lengthen, whatever may be happening underneath the surface. So stay with the shaking. It's a literal conversation between your body, between you and your body. And in that shaking, eventually, the conscious overwrites the unconscious, and you start to find more space in the body, more flexibility, more ability when it comes to the postures that normally make you shake. 2 more breaths. And then placing your right foot back on your mats, placing your left ankle onto the right thigh. Left arm along the floor in line with the shoulder, palm facing the sky. Right knee and left foot onto the floor on the right side of your mats. Once they're there, the right hand can grab the left knee, pulling the outside of the thigh, trying to bring the knee towards the floor. Again, just mindful that the left shoulder blade doesn't come away from your mats. Feel that twist on the spine. Again, as you breathe, massaging internal organs, squeezing the belly in the twist. And with the left fingers, spread them wide. Feel every fingernail pressing down to the ground. And then keeping them all in contact, bring the left arm up alongside the head, up alongside the left ear. But again, keeping the left shoulder blade in contact with the ground. Eventually maybe bringing the arm to 12 o'clock. And then bring the left arm back in line with the left shoulder, taking the right hand underneath the left leg, holding just above the ankle, supporting the lower leg, and straightening through the left leg, pushing through the heel. Again, keeping the left foot off the floor, using your right elbow to keep the left leg off the floor, and then pulling the left leg towards you. Again, just use the strength of your right arm, breathing through the left leg, through the left hip, through the left thigh. Keep flexing the left foot, pushing through the heel, pulling your toes back towards you. And once again, if you'd like to go further, the left hand can come down, grabbing the top of the right foot, pulling that right knee in line with the long edge of your mats, making sure your left shoulder blade stays connected to the floor, and then straightening through the left heel, pushing through the left leg, locking the left knee in, and using the strength of the right arm to start pulling the leg up towards the back of your mats. Few more breaths. And then slowly, gently, bring your left foot back onto your mats, placing both feet on the floor. And then just bringing the knees into the chest, wrapping your arms around your legs. Give yourself a nice squeeze, bringing the forehead to the knees. Maybe just massage your lower back, rock side to side. Circle the knees, whatever feels good. And then finishing with a happy baby, grabbing the outsides of the feet, keeping your tailbone on your mat. So try and keep the spine long, keep the back flat. And then just pulling on the feet, trying to bring your knees either side of your ribcage, using the strength of your arms. Breathing into the hips, the thighs. Releasing the inner muscles along the legs. Wherever this pose is catching for you, just try to breathe in those tight spaces, those biting points. And with every exhale, release. Relax, let it go. And then when you're happy, when you're ready, just making your way to Shavasana, final relaxation. So laying on your mats, lying on your backs, feet on the corners, flops to either side, hands away from the body, long through the spine. Every vertebrae makes contact with the mat. And then soften, release, relax. Nothing left to do. Just calming into stillness and breathing easy. Just your normal, natural breaths. Allowing your body to return to its natural state. Finding stillness in your body and the stillness in your mind. As you keep your focus, your attention centered on breathing, on the sensations in your body, and as we lay here, in this Shavasana, we will finish the pranayama we started at the beginning of class, the threefold breath. So we did Samavriti, we did Ajna centering. Now for Anahata centering, the heart centering breath. Once again, with your breathing, just recognizing the 4 parts to every breath. And then breathing to a ratio of 7-1, 7-1. So breathing in for 7, holding for 1. Exhaling for 7, holding for 1. Again, remember the speed, the pace, the number to which you count to is not important. It is the ratio that is. And again, if you are able to tune into the beating of your heart, your pulse somewhere in your body, use this as the measure to count by. For now, I leave you practicing 7-1, 7-1, just for a few minutes. And breathing deeply, getting ready to move. Wiggling fingers and toes. Rotating wrists and ankles. And then moving any way it feels good for you. Moving how your body wants to move. And then making your way to sitting on your mats. So thank you all very much for sharing this practice with me. Hopefully the background sounds weren't distracting. Like I said, part of the practice. I'm sure there'll be plenty more. So remember, hit a like, just let me know you've had a go at this practice. And until next time, much love. Namaste.